I stayed after work to get some stuff done before I left to go to an open house before I came here. So, and it doesn't take long to forward an email from a cell phone. So that we should be back at 100% here. The note that I have is a question. Actually, I like that. Business licenses. Made it up higher than already budgeted. It's $500. Building permits are at 45% of what we budgeted. Whether or not, I don't know that we got numbers from town in August.
They arrived late, I haven't known.
So we may have a little bit to catch us up to August and then whatever September's is. The airport, this was our shot in the dark last year on what the tax bill was going to be. We had budgeted that there was going to be a $20,000 reimbursement from the hangar owners that offset the $20,000 tax expense, and that's just what we budgeted. At some point between now and a meeting or two from now, Michelle, do you have a tracking of who's paid and who hasn't?
I do, I have to put it on a spreadsheet because I filed invoice copies by alphabetically by name, and I do have a book, yes.
So only half the people are paid?
Actually, I got more than I paid, we'll have to look at it.
I think the amount that we budgeted was also considerably more than what it actually turned out to be. We just put it up on the site.
18,000, wasn't it?
Correct.
Well, we wrote $19,000 check.
Right, so it's not over still, $1,000.
I was 19.
Yeah.
For some reason I was
So it
thinking
was 18, but we waited a month and then paid it.
Gotcha.
But I got, something was brought to my attention today, and we mentioned the airport. They don't pay anything toward fire. Is that something that should be visited? Fire, EMS. I had it brought to my attention, I said I mentioned it to you guys during the budget. I never heard it, it's never been done before, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, it's on the tax line, it's in the village. So,
Something to think
yeah, I
about.
don't know unless we move to a fire fee for the town where everybody pays.
Which is what we need to talk about as part of this overall game plan going forward, depending on how this turns out.
You have a risk of a crash, you have fuel storage tanks, you have all kinds of airplanes being stored that have fuel in them. And if you have to have fire or EMS because of it, there's a cost. They should be paying something.
I mean, I get that. Those hangars are all in the village. So my point is from us collecting fees.
That would be the village that would have to collect from them.
Correct.
So it's actually the village's issue, whether they want to charge them.
Because we're not paying the town as a specific entity. The town doesn't pay property taxes that go toward, I get like the fundamental theory behind risk, whatever you want to call it. But that's one of those, I'm not sure how, like, mechanically how we would do it unless everybody within the village's fire response area paid a fire fee. You know, if you take that, just using a number, taking $1 million, they think the budget is, and if there's a million parcels, every parcel pays $1, right?
EMS and the fire apart, because you can't throw the EMS and the fire fee, right?
Well, that's part of,
Budgeting and
that's
stuff.
part of the issue with this,
Yeah.
is that if there's not enough detail to say what's
Why we
what,
need this? Yeah, this.
then we can't even, like, let's say we agreed they needed $1 million. How we collect it is a completely separate conversation. And if one of the things we as a municipality or customer are trying to do is to move to the fire fee, then what we need from them is more information than that.
Well, we need that more information anyway.
Well,
Okay, we better keep on this.
so, this one, I'm gonna put a pink check over in the estimated part to see where we land. On the other, let me. So right now, we've only got anything allocated for $8,300 towards the airport on the expense side of things.
What are we spending $8,300 for the airport? Are you got mental block on the airport commission or what? What was it for? What
No, what we did in our budget is that the taxes, the real property taxes in our budget, this 82, this line item
Yeah,
was supposed to be 20 in and 20 out, right? So we only have 83.
But we paid 19, so why is
That's,
that?
we gotta track down where.
I think some of the numbers, to be honest with you, when some of those payments came in, I wasn't sure where to put them. And I think some of the payments just when I printed out the
Yeah,
report for
but this
jobs.
is the expense, not the revenue. Revenue would apply to what you're saying,
Yeah.
but if we paid the village 19,000 plus or minus,
Paid the
this
county.
one's only saying, our county, this is only saying 8269. It should reflect the 19.
up to where we're at right now.
Could be in
Well,
different
we paid that as
accounts.
a one-timer, 19,000, right?
Right. Give or take a couple of things.
Okay. I mean, I've sketched around, but, other miscellaneous revenue. I believe this is our fire dues amount.
Yeah, it's kind of,
Why wouldn't we have budgeted for that since we get it every year?
well, we didn't get it the year before because the village screwed up and didn't do the inspections, so that.
We would have put it
Well, we
in.
probably did put it in there, but we never got it or something.
Well, no, the budget, it's only showing 395 for the budget. Other miscellaneous revenue showing 395 for the budget column, 10,843 for the income.
So, other.
I mean, 2 lines down is another miscellaneous income, so miscellaneous revenue, miscellaneous income. Is it some, because that's 17,000 versus a budget of 1065, is that where we put the, because the budget, there was 10,655, is that where we put the?
This is, detail. So these are combination of special assessment searches for title companies. And looks like there's a handful of tax reimbursements in there for airport payment. So we just gotta do a little cleanup on what account we landed.
Right, but why was the budget, so then the other miscellaneous revenue is not, airport fee?
So this $395, I think, is what we had anticipated was going to be the title company search fee that we charge them.
Right, my question is, the money we get, the 2% we get, for hydrants, whatever, where
Fire
is
dues.
that fire dues, is that here
I
somewhere?
believe it's miscellaneous income.
that's the 10,655 we put, we've actually got 1743. That's what we're questioning. That one we put up.
It's under this section, Josh, with, from the state, because normally we get that money from the state. It's more detail on the chart of accounts.
Like, I hope you guys understand that this is the first budget meeting.
Oh, yes, I absolutely.
So we're not going into November 14th, but.
Right, yeah, I understand.
No worries. This is what's been done in the last week and a half since we did our August payables. So that's as far as.
I'm with you, Josh.
Yeah.
100%.
So we'll drill into some of those. They're obviously highlighted thing on my spreadsheet anyways to look at. Cable TV franchise fees. You know,
That's what we did.
right away permits, we pretty much far exceeded so far this year what we thought we were gonna get versus where we are. Proceeds from debt, so here's where we are so far, 273,902.
I think we just filed.
We covered this already?
Right, I know what we're going to do. Our budget was 378,855. This will be part of the conversation for the next two. Fire and EMS.
Was the 273, remind me, 273,902, is that fire quarters and we have another payment coming in?
Well, that's farther.
No, that's proceeds from debt, so that's the money we've drawn in 2025.
But that was farther.
Correct,
You're right.
This is revenue.
correct.
Right.
So it's the money we got from the bank for drawing on the loan from our meeting 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so why is it 105,273 versus the 273 is 370?
When we budgeted, this again was 185 plus 225 minus the Eldred loan. That's what we anticipated from a scope of work. The 225 we knew was,
378.
yeah,
What's the 273?
that's what we've drawn so far this year. That's the farther part.
Right, so we're gonna be drawing the balance of that this year.
That's what we're gonna decide at 7 o'clock.
And
I thought we already decided last meeting, voted on drawing the balance of it.
The 273, Rob, there's 85 roughly, just rounding off, 85,000 left, and that's 600. So, we'll talk about that at 7 o'clock.
Pretty sure we worked on some last year to take the remaining, last week to take the remaining 85,000 versus canceling that.
We never got to it, and we tabled it, right, Josh?
yes. We tabled it because we didn't have the final from the county or the final from Payne and Dolan. We do have Payne and Dolan now. We still don't have the county invoice. So far, yeah, okay. Fire EMS, we're at 3/4.
We're on expenses.
Correct, yeah. All the 4 numbers are revenues and all the 5 reading numbers are expenses on the margins for all these guys.
We get a little slower, because we already figured it.
So, fire EMS, you know what the cost is gonna be this year, we're at 76% of what that is. Part of the reason behind that is we finally got the RW or R whatever Walton invoice from dry hydrant in 2025. That wasn't in the budget for this year, it was actually in the budget, and we never got the money, never got the invoice last year.
Right.
Board supervisor or board salaries, excuse me.
Well, it's not cheap.
Well, we can kind of do an easy projection in between there. Special meetings, we budgeted 250, so far we've had the 1, I believe, or
$125, as I reserved for 2 more meetings.
Okay, we can do that. Tax refunds, we didn't budget because it's money gone from collecting before. Issued refunds for 197 so far. Clerk salary, here's where we're at with board salary. Put that in. Election expense. We gotta do a little bit, the reason why 51400-2 is highlighted pink in my spreadsheet. We gotta do a little bit of dancing with, there was some miscellaneous expenses for election workers during the election. That would just need to reclassify into, I think, into the election salary expense category.
Well, the 532 should both carry this.
No, that is, it's part of it, but not all 532. So, in 2026, this year we had more or less budgeted for a potential of 3. No,
Elections you talking?
2 elections this year.
Plans.
For a primary in the spring
Yeah.
and then
That's correct.
the regular spring election. Next year we gotta do 4. And I think what we did, I'm just gonna put this in here, because the 20.
How much does it cost an election, Michelle?
That's all that's on the ballot.
We have $6,000 there. That's what
Well, I have not analyzed it yet, it takes a little thinking. So, like Josh said, we just started this. I will do that for you.
So in 24, when we budgeted, Laura had anticipated 4, a spring primary, a spring general, and a fall primary, and a fall general. And we budgeted 9 grand. Okay. This year, we budgeted for 2 at 6, and we're gonna end up somewhere in $3,600. 1. So just using a placeholder, for the time being, I got 9 grand. So
Yeah.
Less than
Thank you. We pay for ballots and other materials, and I know this is election salary. It's based on what's on the ballot. It's split among the municipalities, the counties. For instance, if we have board members on, we pay more for ballots. Referendum on, we pay more.
This is one that just popped in my head.
Machine?
Machine. Was that 7 grand?
We pay half, and it was around 3,500 our share, but I don't look at the exact amount.
So
What was that now, the new voting machine?
Election machine, we have to get a new one. The county, we all do the same. Next year, they're requiring them to be updated, and they notify us to budget for half of the cost. And the new machine is 7,000 something. But we've also got a couple of things that we have to replace the battery in our machine, and they told us to plan for $200. They last a certain number of years. And as far as I know, that's it so far.
So really, if you spend 35, budgeted 6, or 2,500.
Well, actually, we're looking at election salary and expense, and there's a couple of other, some election things and other others.
You said the battery, Michelle, I said 6,000.
No, there's a handicap machine which we've never used in a long time. We're required to set it up, but, anyone could actually use it.
Yeah.
But the batteries in them, are in need of replacement. So those will be about $200 each. We have only one machine, so we're lucky. If we had 5 machines, we'd have to buy 5.
I thought you said they lasted so long. I didn't hear the amount.
Oh, I don't know how long they last. They tell us. So. We don't want them to go, yeah.
I'm gonna do this again. $9,000 plus 3,500 plus 200.
I'll give you exact number. There's also some, software, some sort of insurance coverage to make sure that there's service on that goes back. We paid that already, it's already included in.
Okay. Temporary placeholder at 12,700, I guess, is where that math comes out. Like we get 9,000 for an election, 3,500 for a machine, and 200 for a battery. Again, preliminary placeholder. Office supplies, we're at 83% of the year. Budgeted less this year than we had as actual the year before, and half as much as we had in 23. Legal, we're at 45%-ish. The auditor, I know we've got, pretty sure we've got one payment to round out their presentation and close out the audit.
Please go back to the legal. So we've spent 87 so far, 120 grand. We should raise that a little bit, 22,000. It's a thought,
Well,
maybe it's 5,000.
In 23, we were at 19, and 24, we were at 5,800. So,
Is it
Do we expect
possible that
another-
we're at 5,800 with all the, or was that zoning stuff?
We expect 11,000 more in the last 4 months of the year.
That's all
Possible.
We don't like to.
Yeah.
Well,
Just a question, are the auditors gonna charge extra for doing an audit of the airport along with the town books? And have we asked them about how much it's gonna cost? I think we should for the budget.
so when they were in, I asked them about the potential of breaking the airport into a separate fund out of the 100 fund and put it in a 2 or 3 or whatever, and then whether or not, from an auditing perspective, because then they're, rather than it just being a line item or separate sections of line items, and they've got to do separate financial statements for the secondary fund, which that may adjust.
I don't expect it to be a lot of money, but there should be something.
So, within the next month or two, I think it would behoove us to not only follow up with Johnson Block on those points, but also to get a letter of engagement with them with the actual costs that we plug in the budget for 26.
Month is one thing, not 2 months. Yeah, I think you've done it before 2 months from now, right? That's the end of October.
Well, I mean,
So did you catch that, Michelle, what is it?
I plan on following up with Megan,
Okay.
so.
Frank is 7.
Huh?
It's 7. It's 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
What time's the meeting start, though? 7:30.
Okay, let's adjourn from the budget at this time and go to, which one do you want to do first? 3 or 2?
Can explain both, really.
Okay, we're gonna address both items number 2 and 3, discussion regarding possible borrowing, amount needed, and possible direction regarding borrowing. Number 3, discussion and possible action on payment of Payne and Dolan invoice for recently completed road repairs. And how much is Payne and Dolan asking for?
That is what I'm trying to find. So, 103, 162.57.
103,
162.57.
nothing's coming out, you said on county,
Correct.
so on the
But-
prices.
But again, if we use the estimates they gave me 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we're gonna be somewhere near 185,000 for the actual cost of Tamarack. Instead of 225.
The reimbursement's 32, right?
30, yeah,
Just roughly.
sure, yes. So what we have done so far is the 242 is the line of credit that was drawn last year. That's these two numbers. We drew the additional 274, let's call it. Actually, no, I guess. So doing the calculation of what we've drawn so far, principal and interest due is gonna be 172,300 versus it's 165 is what we paid this year. So $7,000 of additional debt service to work through this 273 number. We've got $150,000 principal payment that's due, and then the interest on the 92 and the 273, because we've already paid this 150 off in July.
Right, so we limited it, yeah.
So it's the interest payment on 366, more or less, plus the 150 principal payment.
So at the last meeting, we talked about, different options on borrowing.
So, one of the options is to draw the rest of the line of credit and round it out to 600,000, which would put us at about $84,000 draw. And then borrow the remainder of what's needed to get to that 185 for Tamarack. Approximately 101,000. That's option one. Option two would be is we leave option two is we leave the 85 with the line of credit and we take out 185 for Tamarack. So that difference, if you did it that way, would raise the 26 payment to 215,800.
What's the interest rate right now?
5.5,
It's for
It's the same as the other loan?
no, 6.
on the line of credit, and it would be 5.5. A new 185. So again, as we talked about at the last meeting, the amount needed is still the same. But how we do it is the mechanism piece.
Okay, I'm gonna throw this out for you. That's why we're all here, right? What if you make that 220,000 instead of borrow 220 instead of the 185. I want to be very honest with you, the reason I'm thinking that is this. 85's left to borrow. We get 32 back, so far I'm correct right now. It costs about $145,000 to repay Hooper Road. All Verizon paid, it's junk. I've had 7 people out there, Peter, Leanna, etc. That's why I'm suggesting that, and that extra little bit of money, the 85 and 32 we get back, cover that. I've said my piece. Any comments?
Are there any funds available from LGIP?
LGIP, our savings, or Eldred, the grant program,
The balance that's in LGIP?
90,000.
And if you were to borrow from that, what's the interest rate?
You don't borrow from it, it's a savings account,
And the savings is not making much right now.
4.5%.
4.5? What bank is that?
State local government investment.
Oh. Gotcha.
You can
So-
get that, you can get that at Landmark Credit Union right now too.
But we're supposed to be at 25%, and we're only at 1.1% of, funds to budget. We're only at what, 1.1% or whatever they told us we were at?
Oh, 1.27 as far as what our borrowing capacity is? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, that's only one, it's
So
nothing.
we're supposed to have, what, 250,000 in our
Yeah, right, the, what do you call it, Josh? Fund balance, reserve, we're supposed to have 250 sitting there.
we only have 90, right?
Right, so we don't wanna touch that, we want to somehow, hopefully not have it snow as much and so on and so forth, and maybe regain a little bit.
You need to put more in it to get up to what the auditors recommend, right?
What I don't know is, we don't really wanna necessarily borrow to do that, do we, Josh?
Borrowing fund balance now.
So where I stand on this personally is borrow the 220. I've already explained why. And if that's not a good option, borrow 185, at least we'll have 110, 115,000 sitting in this bill. What I was doing was adding 30, well, it's 33,000. Base to cover, between the 85,000, 32, and then maybe an extra 33 or so for cover the expense.
Is that
But-
the same kind of loan as the 600,000?
Well, part of it would come from that, part of it we wouldn't be borrowing, right, because we
Right,
get the
but it's
32
the
back.
same kind of loan, where we can, like the 600,000,
Line of credit, basically.
well, kind of, yeah. Okay.
Well, I suppose it could be, we wouldn't have to take it to the meeting, sure, it'd be the same thing. But we wouldn't be, we'd get another project done, another piece of the township taken care of, which hasn't been here for years. So that's my point, that's what I hear from people.